Y'all go ahead and give it up for Bobb, Sixx. Where you at, baby? Where you at, baby? All right, man, come on.
This is going to explain the recruit part. Before I get started, for those of you that may be offended by snappy little catchphrases such as "fuck you, you cum guzzling whore," or "shut your cockwasher, you pole smoking bitch," don't worry, I don't use either one of those. My mom's here tonight, and I won't say that kind of shit in front of her. On the way here tonight, we were behind this car, and it kept weaving side to side, slowing up, speeding down. I thought it was a drunk driver. My wife thought they were texting, so I passed them to see if we could figure it out. We were both wrong. It was what, under any other circumstance, would have been an attractive young woman, but she was about middle knuckle deep in her snot box. Yeah. Now, I'm no doctor, but I think if your finger is so far up your nose it's affecting your vision or your ability to drive, that may not be a booger. You might want to leave it alone. Also, on the way here, we heard that song by Prince, Little Red Corvette. You know the song?
Yeah.
Thank you. In the song, he says, she had a pocket full of horses, Trojan, and some were used. I understand it's a condom reference, but what has me confused is the some were used part. Does he mean empty wrappers or actually used condoms? Because it is the used condoms, ladies, that's fucking gross. Don't carry that shit around with you. Later in the song, he says, believe it or not, I started to worry, wondering if I had enough class. How much class do you need to hook up with a chick that's carrying used rubbers around?
Oh, that's nasty. Oh, used rubbers.
This afternoon I was at Walmart,
That's nasty.
and there's this big ass line. Naturally, they only have like 3 registers open, lines all the way down. And there was a lady behind me, and she had the cutest little girl with her. She's about 5 or 6 years old. She was really well behaved for about 10 minutes. And then she went ape shit crazy, running all around. And her mom patiently waited for her to get close enough to grab, and she pulled her in, and she did that mother talking through the teeth thing and said, if you don't stop, I'm going to tell your father how you were acting. The little girl looked into her mother's eyes and through her teeth said, if you don't get your hands off me, I'll tell your father I saw you with my daddy's pee-pee in your mouth. Have you ever stopped to wonder how many times your mom kissed you right after she finished blowing your dad? You're welcome for that vision. It'll stick with you. I'm one of the lucky ones. I never saw my parents getting busy. I heard them all the time. But I always told myself, it's the neighbors. I even told myself it was the neighbors that time we went camping and shared a tent. That was kind of awkward.
Is it going to be fun?
I like y'all sitting right there. Y'all are great. The other day I went to the mall and there's this homeless dude walking around the parking lot talking to himself. But when I came back out, his conversation had intensified. And I wondered to myself, who the hell is that dude talking to? And then I wondered, who the hell am I talking to? All of a sudden he stopped talking and looked me right in the eyes and gave me one of those all-knowing nods and said, exactly. And then he asked me if he could borrow $5. I said, borrow? Dude, if I'm going to lend you money, I'm going to need a reference. Someone to vouch for you. He goes, oh yeah, man, I understand. He'll vouch for me. And he pointed at a pigeon. And as if on cue, the pigeon said, coo, coo. And he said, see, man? He said, I'm coo, coo. I said, dude, it actually sounded like he said, you're cuckoo. And I felt bad as soon as I said it. Not because I said it to him, but because he walked over and kicked the pigeon and said, God damn it, you just cost me $5. Something I don't understand about bums are the ones that have beautiful handwriting, good grammar, a good grasp of syntax. Hey, if you want money from me, make me feel bad for you. Make me think something's wrong. Misspell a few words. I like anagrams. Make me figure out what you mean by will what for thud. I do give money to homeless people. However, I make a game out of it. I only offer them money when they're on the other side of a busy road. I hold the tin out the window. It's like a live-action version of Frogger. And if you time it just right, the light will change before they get you. You get to drive off and not give them shit. Before anybody says that's fucked up, I'm helping them get in some cardio, which is good for their health, so they can live longer, and teaching them that if you want the money, you need to put forth a little more effort. It's all about perspective. And isn't that what's really important in life, how you look at things? For example, the Titanic, easily considered to be one of the worst maritime disasters in history, from our perspective. But from the perspective of the lobsters that were in the kitchen aboard the Titanic, it was a fucking miracle. That one didn't go right, I loved it. Thank you. You do that every time that happens.
Yes, sir.
He's going to too. He just straightened his shirt, took a drink. Now I gotta remember where I was at. Giving money to bums. Titanic. I did a lot of drugs in the 80s, so y'all have to understand. Sometimes you stand here and look at the crowd when they're hanging like this. It's fun. All comics do it. It's not that they forget what they were going to say. I come from a different generation than most of you. I'm not into shaving all my pubes off. But for some reason, my wife decided that after 20 years of being together, tonight would be the perfect night to tell me she hates my pube dreadlocks. So I think what I need to do is like shave it in like a little landing strip. That way when I get a boner, it looks like I'm casting a shadow. I'm thinking it might make him look a little bigger. It could backfire and just make him look like a piece of rice stuck in a soul patch. But I really guess it depends on your perspective. Hey, I know some of you are drinking. Please be careful tonight. If you have too much, get a ride. There's no shame in that. Ladies, be extra careful when you're getting a ride because there are guys out there that take advantage of drunk women. They feel you owe them something for the ride. I'm not one of those guys. I give drunk women rides home all the time and expect nothing in return. However, as a father, I do feel that the ride should be educational and there should be a lesson involved. So I always take the longest, loneliest, darkest, most out-of-the-way route. And then I casually look over and say, you don't want to fucking kill you, right? Sobers will light up. Most of them jump out before you even get a chance to slow down. Then, when they're walking home, instead of being pissed off that they're walking, they're thankful to be alive. See, it's all about perspective. Sometimes perspective doesn't make any sense. A lot of people, for whatever reason, have been asking me if I'm gay. I'm not. I don't know where that shit comes from. I don't project gay. And I know that I'm not because I've thought about it. Like, not, oh yeah, I could do this, thought about it. Not like that. I mean, I've thought about, is there any possibility that I could be? And I know that I'm not for several reasons. Number one, I don't find anything sexually attractive about men. I cry when the doctor sticks his finger in my ass, so I could never imagine having a dick in my ass. And, growing up, my best friend was gay. We're still friends to this day. And if I was going to be gay with someone, it'd be with him. I didn't know he was gay for the first couple of years. I just thought he kept blowing me because my girlfriend wouldn't do it. So as you can see, he set the best friend bar pretty fucking high. The way I found out he was gay was one time after he finished blowing me, he wanted to cuddle. I said, I don't want to cuddle with you, dude. That shit's gay. He said, I know. I'm gay. So obviously you can see, since I didn't want to cuddle, I can't be gay. I'm sure right about now some of you are wondering, no, I am not on drugs. I've been clean since January 24th, 1987. Drugs were a lot of fun in the beginning. A lot. But I started missing a lot of important shit like school, work, my birthday, 1985. Hey, for these of you that have had a wild night out, got a little fucked up, forgot a couple hours, ain't shit. Try forgetting an entire year. Out of all the shit that I've forgotten, there are some things that even if I did remember, I'd say I didn't. For example, the other night, me and my wife were at my friend's house. We were having a good time, and out of nowhere, he said, dude, you remember that time we went to the petting zoo, and we rubbed salt in our ass cracks, and then when no one was looking, we pulled our pants down and let the animals lick the salt? I was like, what? Dude, that's fucking gross. No, I don't remember that. And unless you can prove it, don't be telling people that shit. Turns out, he has pictures. Oddly enough, I looked like I was having a damn good time. Hey, have you ever got drunk, woke up, one eyebrow missing, big dick drawn on your face? Just me, really? The weird thing is I was drinking at home, alone. Hey, there are way worse things than waking up with a big dick drawn on your face. Like waking up next to someone and you can't remember their name, or how you met, or why they're dead. Hey, speaking of too much is dead, does anybody else ever wonder if Michael Jackson looks like he did in the Thriller video? Oh, come on, people. He's been gone for 5 years. Some of you acting like you just had a sleepover at Neverland Ranch. And we all know that didn't happen because all of you are well past the cutoff age. I don't ever have to worry about looking like an extra from Thriller, because when I die, my wife's going to have me cremated. I think it's mostly to make sure I'm not pranking her. She's also going to put some of my ashes into an Etch-a-Sketch. That way my great-great-great-grandchildren can play with me if they want to. As you can see, I plan for a lot of things. For example, I could never imagine killing myself. I am my own best friend. But I have a suicide plan just in case. So if I ever decide to check out, I'm going to break into someone's house in the middle of the night. I'm going to get one of their guns. I'm going to strip naked, put on a condom. I'm going to slide into bed with them, and the thought of them telling the cops, no, I don't know him. Yes, that is my gun. No, I don't know why he's naked and wearing a condom. The other day I was watching a documentary on plane crashes. Now I have a plane crash plan. You never know. So just in case, if I'm ever on a plane and it starts to go down, as soon as I realize we're going down, I'm going to stand up, strip naked, put my clothes into my carry-on, put it back in the overhead, sit down, put on my seatbelt, put on a condom, and wait. It makes me laugh imagining them going through the wreckage and finding me and going, what the fuck? And my plan guarantees that my name will be mentioned on the news. Normally, when a plane goes down, the media only reports how many people are on a flight. But I think with my new plan, the report's going to go, FAA officials are still trying to figure out why local comic Bobb Sixx was naked and wearing a condom on a flight that crashed in Texas this week. For the record, not all of my plans involve me being naked. For example, my prison plan doesn't. Ever. If I ever go to prison, I'm not even going to pull my pants down when I take a shit. It's sort of spackling my ass shut. I think it'll be helpful to have that extra block. The only potential flaw that I see in my plan is me being put in a cell with some psychopathic son of a bitch that looks at my spackle job like a scratch-off winning lottery ticket. So there could be problems in that. I had something else I was going to talk to y'all about, but I can't remember what it is. It is old age. Old age and drugs. Does it every time. I'll tell y'all this before I go, because I think it's about that time. And I appreciate it if y'all pay attention, because I've spent the last year traveling around the country asking people to please stop telling children to stop, drop, and roll if they catch on fire. That was okay back in the 1800s when we all had dirt floors and didn't have anything to lose, but now we all have carpeting and nice wood floors, and why should my house get burned down because your dumbass kid caught on fire? However, I do believe that stop, drop, and roll has served us well, so we shouldn't quit using it. Let's repurpose it. So the next time you're in an awkward situation, or a boring conversation, or or you're performing in a comedy contest and you forget your closer. That is my time. I am Bobb Sixx. Thank you for sharing your laughter with me. Come on, Facebook and Twitter, please.